Boots on the pavement in Windsor.
Royal Navy, Navy.
The send-off for a sailor, a duke, a husband. Prince Philip's military family in the grounds of an ancient castle with all the precision and pomp for one of their own. A man who was first a serviceman before a life of service. The British Armed Forces and Prince Philip's favourite black fell ponies leading off the funeral procession. On the front seat of the carriage, the Duke's cap, his gloves and a small jar with a red lid. It's what he would use to hold sugar lumps for his beloved horses. Prince Philip wanted a slimmed-down service, but within the 1,000-year-old walls, there was no missing the royal pageantry. The Duke's coffin draped in his personal royal standard, on top his naval cap and sword, a wedding gift from the Queen's father, King George, 73 years ago. The Duke of Edinburgh famously once said on his death he simply wanted to be put in the back of a Land Rover and driven to Windsor. So it was on a custom-built military green vehicle, all the Duke's idea, he made his final journey. In his decades of service, Prince Philip was always 2 steps behind the Queen. Today it was Her Majesty who trailed her husband and her family. An ashen-faced Prince Charles, Princess Anne, Princes Andrew and Edward, followed by Prince William and Prince Harry firmly back in the firm's fold. In between the brothers, their cousin Peter. A fractured family patched up for now to farewell their patriarch, and in a clear break with tradition, not in military dress. The Queen chose the flowers, white roses and lilies, and with them a handwritten note. The Guard of Honour, joined by the Duke's grandchildren, the Duchess of Cambridge, Kate, and Camilla, the Duchess of Cornwall. Navy pipers with the command to attention, signalling the masked military pallbearers on the steps to St George's Chapel. And when the clocks hit 3, a nationwide minute of silence. From the Queen, the future King, in what was a pandemic funeral, what would be a chapel brimming with dignitaries and world leaders, today closer to empty. Masked royals spaced out, the family trimmed to just 30, a choir of 4 singers, and most striking of all, this image of the Queen who sat alone, isolated by the death of the Duke and COVID rules.
We have been inspired by his unwavering loyalty to our Queen, by his service to the nation and the Commonwealth, by his courage, fortitude and faith.
So too Prince Harry, his head bowed for his grandfather, the military man. The Duke's coffin in a final farewell from a lone piper and buglers with his last post. Once more. At the time of the Queen's death, they will be laid to rest together at King George VI Memorial Chapel. One of his requests that military from across the Commonwealth be at his funeral. Commodore Guy Holthouse was Australia's representative. In the end, it was a funeral of precision and planning, the send-off for an extraordinary royal life, a serviceman, consort to the Queen and father. In Windsor, Ben Avery, 9 News.